Wow. What an odyssey these weeks have been, sitting back, streaming a show. Something we can all do thanks to the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Sony's new Bravia 7 Mini LED 4K TV, featuring Sony's video on-demand service, Sony Pictures Core, which is the first in the industry to feature pure stream technology. The highest in streaming picture quality. Can stream HDR movies at up to 80 megabits per second, which is similar to 4K UHD Blu-ray discs, which means significantly more detail, color, and contrast than the conventional 15 to 25 megabits per second. Access the largest IMAX Enhanced movie collection. Optimized for Bravia TVs, IMAX Enhanced delivers remastered IMAX picture. Some movies have an enhanced aspect ratio filling the screen. What's that, you say? It's not complete without immersive surround sound to blow your hair back? I agree. With that DTS:X and Dolby Atmos surround sound, you have support for the complete package. A home theatrical experience in which you invite your friends over, pop it on for them, melt their minds. I mean, not literally, in the good way. So click the link below, check out the Sony Bravia 7. Bring the power of the theatrical experience home. And now, you were so good to us, number one. But when in doubt, go with the one you know. And now, the end is near. So the Acolyte, episode 8, the finale, it's aired, which looks like it doesn't even have a title. It's just episode 8. What kind of lazy shit is that? Anyhow, it's aired, I'm gonna talk about it, and I usually give the disclaimer this isn't gonna be a play-by-play, and I hold to it. There are other channels out there that do their episode breakdowns. I'm gonna try to stick to the bullet points here, but man, from the get-go, I was like, so the writing is still... It's not gotten better throughout the show. Saul and May are all pointing fingers at each other. You killed my mom, you started a fire. Wanted to be like, children, children. You're both douchebags. How about that? This can be a teachable moment. Lessons can be learned as long as you, May, don't get a convenient mind wipe and forget about everything that happened. Man, too bad everyone in this galaxy is gonna forget about that one. That would solve a lot of problems in Star Wars. Mind wipe, done. It's fine. Maybe Mind Wipe already did exist. Maybe that's just how Luke forgot about that shit. But when May's strapped to the table and Saul's like, you and your sister are not actually sisters. What you are is, she breaks free and tases him. She might as well have been like, I don't want the reveal yet. It'll ruin it for the people at home. You don't see the camera? I'm going to escape to the very planet you were taking us both to anyways. Why did I escape? You know, the thrill of it. Then she crash lands. Again, that's this show's thing, actually. To this show's credit, they were like, all right, lightsaber stabbings, we're gonna make those lethal again. Crashing a ship, though, now everyone just kind of shrugs that one off. May, when she has her head in the helmet that blocks out other senses and just leaves you with the Force, but it stops the Force from reading your minds. I meant Osha. Anyhow, she's like, I saw May and she killed someone, and he was like, so she can kill without a weapon. I was like, okay, back to that shit. I have questions. Why was that ever a thing? Is that like the rite of passage for Sith? You need to kill someone without a weapon? If so, that's fine. But I think they're overplaying a pretty simple thing. I think they're making Force choke a bigger deal than it should be. Because that's what she does later on with Saul. Jumping ahead a little bit, sorry. May's like, you killed my mother. Again, Osha. Instead of being like, yes, and I'm sorry. Maybe I should have been the one floating there in a vow of silence, drinking the poison. Instead, I'm gonna be like, yeah, but your sister started the fire, dipshit. It wasn't just me. I guess we're both scumbags. Remember that? Yeah, your sister whom you've hated all your life and you were just fighting, but you're gonna be cool with her in about 2 seconds for, you know, reasons. I'm done with excuses, in fact. My infatuation with you has been weird from the start. Choke away. You know, so anyhow, she chokes him, and I think that's supposed to be the, oh, she killed without a weapon. She is that powerful. This is her final Sith form. My friend's brother and I actually got into this conversation about 10 years ago because we were talking about Force powers, you know, as people do, just in the wild talking. He talked about Force choke, but he talked about it like a video game mechanic, like Jedi can't Force choke. And my argument was, well, they could if they wanted to, they just don't because they're Jedi. Like, if you can move things with the Force, if you have that ability, you can close a windpipe. It's as simple as that. Just not a thing Jedi do, because it's like, yo, that's just really douchey. And I'm a Jedi. I'm supposed to have integrity. I mean, Jedi in the High Republic, yeah, they could probably just choke away, but not us. Like the lightning thing, I totally get. That looks like a very different way the Force operates. But I've always seen the Force choking thing as, well, I can move things with the Force, so I'm gonna shut that off. No, you can't breathe. That'll teach you to talk shit about my religion at work. But I feel like the Acolyte's coming at it like she unlocked a Force ability in a video game or something. Granted, to be fair, when she was all pissed off and she made the Kyber crystal bleed and the lightsaber turned red, I actually thought that was a pretty cool thing. It was like, all right, in a world where I've never found it necessary to make kyber crystals bleed, to have some lore reason why Sith have red lightsabers. It was neat that she was getting so pissed that you see this crystal start to bleed. I don't know, it's a cool moment. Doesn't mean much because it's still attached to the rest of the bullshit leading up to it. When Saul was spilling his guts, but kind of finger pointing and making excuses, when he was like, I thought it was the right thing to do, Osha actually brings up a great point. She was like, if you thought it was the right thing to do, why did you hide it from the Jedi? He was like, how about that weather? It's sure is damp today. Do you feel that? Yeah. I think it's gonna rain. It's gonna hail. Now maybe this was Saul drinking the poison, accepting his death. Otherwise, this pretty green Force user who never became a Jedi overpowered a Master Jedi and choked him to death. But she just hit level 11, which unlocked a new Force power. That does help. So I guess the thing is Osha and May are not twins. They're the same person. Though there's nothing really linking them, showing them that they are the same person. I mean, even Osha doesn't have the tattoo. May has the tattoo. They don't share memories or anything. We've never seen that if one takes a wound, the other one gets a wound. My point in all of this is you can say, oh, they're the same person all you want. But in the end result is, well, that they're twins. They don't operate any differently than twins, so they're twins. Only when they were kids, they didn't look identical, and then they grew up and looked identical. You could have done something cool. You could have had the characters have a crisis of some sort. You're both the same person, but this one became a Sith murderer, and you didn't. The one who didn't could be like, if I had lived her life, would I have become that? We can't do that in the Acolyte because that would mean the dark side is objectively evil and we are eliminating that shit. Were you not listening to the great philosopher Sheev? Saul's like, in the history of the galaxy, very few have ever had the power to do that. I'm like, no, only one has. He was actually creeping around in a cave in one glimpse in this episode. I mean, let's face it. I'm not alone here. I feel like we all thought it when these witches created life. The thought was, okay, they're going to tie this into how Plagueis learned to create life, so I guess we'll just see how it goes down. It doesn't look like Darth Thirsttrap even knew that Plagueis was in the cave. Was he creeping in the shadows? Was he like the bird lady in Home Alone 2, just up in the attic, unseen, unknown? Truth be told, after the Zabrak witch mom got away, the reason in the last video I did about the Acolyte, I asked, is there an in-canon explanation of Darth Plagueis' master? I thought they were going to make the Zabrak witch mom Darth Plagueis' master. I don't know, they still could, I guess. Not saying they should, but they could, which means they might. So Jedi Green Lady gets an army together and she's like, okay, we got to go to, what's the name of the place? Grandok? But she steps off the ship and immediately she's like, my former apprentice, he's here and he's alive. Former apprentice is like, Magneto helmet, shit. She knows I'm here. Saul didn't know that May was just posing as Osha, though? Now, I may have missed this, but to be fair, it's pretty easy to zone out while watching this piece of shit. Did it explain why Saul needed to go back to Grandok? Oh, no, Brendok. My bad. I get that he said he needs both twins to prove this vergence in the Force, but did he know that Osha was gonna be down there on that planet? Also, why does he need both twins? Didn't his Padawan have the data on the datapad proving that they're identical? 16 years ago, did the Jedi say, hey, by the way, Osha is a vergence in the Force? Was the council like, bullshit, there would be two of them if she was a vergence? Though that's also not true. We need the other one for confirmation. I thought they kept that part out of the cover-up, but why did they? They said May started the fire and everyone died. You could still say it, and May was the other vergence in the Force. Doesn't really implicate them in anyone's death to say that. Just feels like they're covering up more information than they actually had to cover up. And it feels like the show is sending Saul on a quest for the sake of sending him on a quest, but the quest doesn't make any sense. Besides, if he does find May and brings them both back to the council, May's gonna be like, he did it, he killed my mom. Oh shit, should have thought about that. If only there was a way to force mind wipe someone. I don't know. So the Osha and May thing goes down exactly the only way it could go down. The way it was always gonna go down. Osha pledges her allegiance to Darth Thirsttrap because she has seen him without a shirt. Why would she not? Then Darth Thirsttrap is like, I can wipe May's mind, by the way. So say your goodbyes, and I'll just make the years go away. Osha and May hug, and Osha's like, all right, he's gonna wipe your mind, and I'm gonna go live in a world where I use his abs like a pillow, and, well, the Jedi are gonna arrest you and throw you into some sort of weird Jedi clink, but bye. It's been real. Oh, it's so awkward.
No, it's not. It's fine.
No, but
Want to touch my nipple?
Ooh, yeah. That's what happens. She gets arrested, and then bald green Jedi lady is like, you don't remember anything about the murders. Here's what really happened. Saul killed your mother, and then killed a bunch of Jedi. Even though I know that my apprentice turned bad, and he was definitely there. I sensed him. So there's more to this story. She knows she's lying. So it's basically, she's revealing the cover-up, but then doing another cover-up. That's what I mean when I say the Jedi and the High Republic are douchebags. They're simply morally compromised. I just see the Jedi in Star Wars before and the Jedi in the Acolyte as different. Not saying Jedi have always been perfect. Jedi have never been perfect. But there's a difference between something being perfect and something being good. There have been douchebag Jedi, and there have been Jedi who have turned to the dark side and or become Sith. But the Jedi Order itself has been good. Sure, little complacency that comes from the galaxy working like clockwork all those years. Splash of naivete, but not fundamentally rotten or corrupt. I wouldn't describe them as douchebags. Jedi and the Acolyte, douchebags. Say after those sisters bond, one gets arrested and the other goes off to ride that Sith D. Ooh, but you get the back of Yoda's head in one scene, but it just comes across as key jangling bullshit. Plagueis creeping around a corner. The back of Yoda's head. Get excited, season 2. Solid hooks. Here's a better hook for a second season. Have a good first season. In the end, I can't help but think of Breaking Bad. So Walter White works all that time. He does the grinds to amass $80 million.
80 million.
Sounds like a lot of money. Until you realize that's less than half of what the Acolyte costs. Where is the money? At no point did this look like it cost 180 million bucks. The Acolyte just had uninteresting characters, bland acting, a story that went nowhere. Say what you want about Darth Thirsttrap. He's probably the most interesting character in the story. Why not just start it out with him? His Jedi Master betrayed him, scarred him, tried to kill him, whatever it is. Maybe Plagueis found him, taught him a thing or two, and now he wants revenge. It's all right, Darth Shirtless the Thirsttrap. You win the show. I hope this doesn't stick to Lee Jung-jae too much. The dude had a pretty good trajectory. I feel like he was on a solid ship in the ocean. Someone was like, hey, you should jump from this ship to that ship. It's bigger, so it's obviously better, right? Dude learned English for this role. I mean, that's pretty badass. Nothing else in here was badass. Everything was just bad or ass. This is another testament to Disney buying Lucasfilm, having this art gallery of IP, then going through that art gallery like you're the Joker and his goons. Also pretty sure YouTubers are the only ones who watch this thing. Anyhow, this is it. I waved the white flag. I'm out. So all right, the Acolyte, the finale. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.